A very good morning to our lecturer, Madam Nur Haslinda, and to all our fellow coursemates. Today, my group members, who are Siti Nur Efarahin, Nur Nabila, Nur Adiba Akila, and myself, Joycelyn Grace. We will present PORTER 5 forces model of our selected brand, Tupperware Brands Corporation. In this slide, we will discuss about our brainstorming results, rivalry among the existing competitors, threats of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyer, and threats of substitute product or service.
We have done a brainstorming with our team member in order to identify the factors that describe the intensity of competition among the firms with industry. Here is a brainstorming result that we show in a PORTER 5 forces model diagram. This is a PORTER 5 force model diagram. We have summarized the scale of the force on a diagram. We use a double plus sign for a weak force, a single plus sign for a force that moderately against organization. We also use a single negative sign for a force that are fierce to strong, and lastly a double negative sign for a force that are extremely or brutally against organization. First of all, we have threat of new entrants. Here we have new product and service innovated, some economic skill, capacity building, and saving resources on research and development. This new entry, they have brings a new innovation, new ways of doing things, and put pressure to Tupperware Brand Corporation through lower pricing strategy, reducing costs, and provide new proposition to the customer. The threat of new entry is a moderately force because Tupperware has to handle all this challenge and establish effective barriers to the protection of the edge in competition. However, these new entrants are less likely to enter a dynamic industry where the established players such as Tupperware Brands Corporation keep the standard set periodically. Secondly is a bargaining power of supplier. We have moderate number of supplier, dedicated supplier, experimenting product design with different material. They are very weak threat in supplier power because Tupperware have a moderate number of supplier and building an efficient supply chain with multiple supplier. In addition, they have a dedicated supplier which their business depends on the firm. Thirdly is the bargaining power of buyers. It have large supermarket, innovating new product, number of customer, price sensitivity, ability to substitute. Buyers are demand a lot, but they don't want to spend much on the product. They want to buy the best available product by paying as low a price as possible. The scale of this power of buyer's force seems like from fierce to strong, which Tupperware Brand Corporation have a pressure on profitability in the long run, and it shows a strong downward pressure on price. Next is the threat of substitute product or service. We have more service focus, understanding the consumer core desire, cost to the customer to turn, and substitute performance. When a new product or service fit the need of a specific customer in different way, productivity in the industry suffers. The threat of the substitute product or service is strongly high if it offers a value proposition that is uniquely different from present offering of the industry. And lastly, we have rivalry among the existing competitors. It have building a sustainable differentiation, building scale, number of competitors, and customer loyalty. Competitive rivalry is extremely high force because this rivalry competition will affect on the overall long-term profitability of the organization. If the competition among the competitors in an industry is intense, then it will drive down price and decrease the profit of the industry.
Next, I'll discuss the intense rivalry among the existing competitors in packaging and containers industry. Tupperware Brands Corporation operate in a very competitive packaging and container industry. This competition does take toll on the overall long-term profitability in the organization. So, in order to tackle the intense rivalry, Tupperware need to build a sustainable differentiation, which means a unique and distinguished brands product. Second, by building scale so that it can compete better, which means to grow or expand in a profitable way. And lastly, is collaborating with competitors to increase market size, because this can increase economical benefit and boosting sustainability issues.
Let's continue with the questionings of how Tupperware Brands Corporations can tackle the threats of new entrants. Okay, they have some of the way that material that Tupperware brands can do. Some of them is by making new products and service innovators. Let us take one example of products such as plastic products. By plastic products, we can see here that through in products innovations, Tupperware Brands is one of 4 companies to introduce a revolutionary new materials, certified circular polymer made from mixed plastic waste. Beginning summer 2019, Tupperware Brands will introduce the certified circular polymers in new products that will be designed to aid in the reductions of single use of plastic products. The next is by developing economies of scale so the fixed cost per unit can be reduced. As we all know that the size of a market can be measured either by the number of units produced. Would want to know how the many sets were sold each year, so that in economics and business too, there is always an opportunity cost. And the last one is capacity buildings and saving resources on research and development. For example, here is research and developments and resultant new products developments will continue to be an important part of the company's strategy going forwards. Next is how Tupperware Brands Corporations can tackle the bargaining power of the suppliers. We can say here that Tupperware Brands can do it by getting multiple suppliers, get efficient supply chains. In these situations, we can see that the thousands of suppliers around the world who supply products and service and partner with Tupperware Brands on continuous improvement. So, pretty sure all these multiple suppliers has created good supply chains to the improvements of their company. Okay, the next is by experimenting with product designs using different materials in such way that if costs increase from one raw material, then the business will switch to another. Okay. For example, the situation is material is used in products consists primarily of readily available ingredients, containers, and packaging materials. Such raw materials and components used in goods manufactured and assembly by the company and through outsourced arrangements are available from a number of sources. And the last one is the developing dedicated suppliers which are dependent on the clients. Tupperware brands believes that the cost of conduct for suppliers, Tupperware brands sure that they have conducts the good business includes high standards of ethics and fairness among of them.
Next, bargaining power of buyers. Buyers are often demanding a lot. They want to buy the best offerings available by paying the minimum price as possible. This puts pressure on Tupperware Brands Corporation profitability in the long run. The smaller and more powerful the customer base is of Tupperware Brands Corporation, the higher the bargaining power of the customers and higher their ability to seek increasing discounts and offers. So, how Tupperware Brands Corporation can tackle the bargaining power of buyers? Firstly, by building a large base of customers. Next, by rapidly innovating new products. Then, new products will also reduce the defection of existing customers of Tupperware Brands Corporation to its competitors. And lastly, ability to substitute the old customers with new customers according to the change of products. I will present about threats of substitute product or services. When a new product or service meets a similar customer needs in different ways, industry profitability suffers. For example, services like Dropbox and Google Drive are substitute to storage hardware drives. The threat of a substitute product or service is high if it offers a value proposition that is uniquely different from present offerings of the industry. Okay, how Tupperware Brands Corporation can tackle the threat of substitute product or services? Firstly, by being service-oriented rather than just product-oriented. Second, by understanding the core need of the customer rather than what the customer is buying. And lastly, by increasing the switching cost for the customer.